Okay, let's do this. Guess I'm in focus, right? Yep. Hello everyone, how's it going? It's Alisha here today and I'm super duper happy to be sitting here and filming this Q&A video. I have a very comfortable setup. I'm currently sitting on my bed and I wanted it to be like a very chit chatty sort of video instead of like a sit down camera here and all of that kind of stuff. Also, I'm very new to YouTube, so I'm just about like taking tiny steps and seeing how it goes. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. I had asked a couple of days ago on Instagram if you guys have any questions for me, and I got about 60 questions, which is amazing. So thank you so much for sending across those questions. Some of those questions are brilliant and I can only imagine asking people some of those kind of questions. So yeah, let's get started. The first question is from Blue Glister and she asked me, Alisha, I love your Q&A videos. I would love to know what camera do you use to shoot the monthly videos? Any kind of videos that you see on any of my social platforms are all shot on my iPhone 6s. It has a great camera. It has the 4K capability, which is great, and also I carry it with me everywhere, so I don't have to remember to carry another camera. The 6s as of now works just fine. Maybe in the future I'll buy another special camera for vlogging and videos, but for now it's my 6s. The next question is from Anmol and she asked me, what are your diet staples? Honestly, my diet has a little bit of everything. I love food. I'm sure those of you who follow me on Instagram already know this, but I love fruits, vegetables. I love drinking a lot of water. I love lentils, pulses, and like beans and stuff. So, but that's not to say I do not indulge in junk food. Of course, I do. I think balance is key, and every now and then I like a good pasta or pizza, or even like some spicy street side food. I really enjoy that. But yeah, mostly if you go to see in a particular day, then I have about 3 to 4 servings of fruit. I have a green tea. I have ginger lemon tea every day. I also drink about 2.5 liters of water, and about like 3 to 4 times in a week I'll have like a good big bowl of salad, which takes care of my greens and like seeds and all of that. So yeah, seeds requirement and greens requirement and all of that. So that's what I usually have. Next question is, what is the first thing you would want to do when you get up, and the last thing before you go to bed? Also, it's about what you would want to do and not what you already do. Also, this picture is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much. So to answer your question, the first thing that I wake up, what I do when I wake up is I check my phone for about 7 to 10 minutes, and that is the only part in my morning routine that I would want to change. Apart from that, after I check my phone, I quickly make my bed. I make ginger lemon tea. I spend 5 minutes just looking around, sitting by the window, which I really enjoy. But that, 10 minutes that I spend on my phone is something that I would like to change, and I am working on that. Maybe it will reduce to like 2 minutes, which is more than enough. I just want to quickly catch up, of my family messaged me or there's something I need to do work wise or anything like that. So yeah, and something that I already do before I go to bed is obviously I disconnect from my phone and all of that half an hour before bed, and I have this puzzle book that is somewhere, I think it's in my bag, but there's this puzzle book which does not require too much of mental exertion. It's a very simple maze book that I like spending time with before I go to bed. Just half an hour of solving some very like simple puzzles, and just listening to some music. I love Akira Kusamura's music, and I will link it down below. So that's what I usually listen to before I go to bed. But that will be the ideal day, which is probably almost every day except for the days when I have gone out for like dinner or something. Then I just come back and I go to sleep because there is no time to follow like a routine per se. But yeah, I love solving puzzles before bed, just the simple ones. I hope that answers your question. The next question is from Shubhangi and she asked me, you went for Triund trek last year and even I'm planning one. Wanted to know, when is it better to go to Triund, September or May? And doesn't the rainy season during September make it risky? So Shubhangi, I went to Triund in the first week of September and we spent about 9 days in Himachal, Triund, Dharamshala, Kasol, and all these other places, and it wasn't rainy at all. But I guess it's like it's the weather, right? And in the hilly areas, the weather is very unpredictable. We did experience light rain, but nothing too much, nothing that will tamper with your plans or anything like that. So I would say that you should, if you are planning to go in September, make sure you're back. To your to I mean, make sure you're back home before like September 15th or 20th, because I guess after that is when like the rainfalls really begins. And May, I have known a lot of people who have been there in May, and they've all said really good things. So I guess you can go either in May or September mid. Yeah, I hope you have a very nice trip. Triund especially, not Triund, Kasol especially is one of the places that's very close to my heart. It's very laid back, very chill. The people are really nice, and I had an amazing time. And another place I really loved in Himachal was Dharamkot. Unfortunately, we didn't get to spend too much time there, but oh my god, that place is really special and it's beautiful. Words can't do justice. You have to only see, like, be there in real to experience how amazing it is. So yeah, if you're going up north, and if you're going to Himachal, I highly recommend going to Dharamkot if you have the time. So the next question is from, one second, it's from Alisha Mishra, and she asked me, do you miss your sister? For those of you who do not know, Alisha Mishra is actually my sister, and I'm not quite sure why she asked me this question, because the answer is very obvious. Of course I do miss her. She used to be living in Bombay, and we used to meet up for brunches, we used to go for walks together, and it was super nice to just call her and have her be with me. And it was really nice because she as in like conversation wise, it's always amazing with her, because she's an amazing listener, and she will just listen and she'll give good advice even though she's younger to me. Yeah, I really miss having her in Bombay, but that makes my Bangalore visits and her Mumbai visits very special, because I feel we just catch up better and we don't take that time we have with each other for granted anymore. So yeah, I do miss her and I wish she was here. Maybe soon. So the next question is from Pri Ved, and she asked me, I always see you having healthy food. How do you resist temptation for junk food? I honestly do not resist any kind of temptation that I have, and that's not to say that I always eat junk food, or it might look like that on Instagram that I only eat like healthy food. And it is true, because my body always craves healthy food such as salads or like dal or fruits, vegetables. I love those kind of things somehow, but like every once in a while I also do treat myself to pizzas, or like I said before, pasta. I love that every once in a while, but for the most part, I guess once you start eating healthy food, you automatically start craving it. And trust me, you should give this a shot yourself. Just for like a month, maybe try going for the healthier options more often, and you will see your body automatically starting to reject the taste that you have for unhealthy food. Not only taste wise, but how your body feels internally when you have something healthy versus when you have something deep fried or that is termed junk is very different. So yeah, I hope you give it a shot. So the next question is from Soul Connections and You, and she asked me, hi Alisha, firstly you look beautiful inside out. Thank you so much. I really get intrigued by your job profile at Crowdfire. It would be great if you could please share a little bit more on the kind of work you and your team does at Crowdfire. This is perhaps one of the most asked questions, and it's probably because I do share a lot of what happens in work on my Instagram stories and all of that. And honestly, Crowdfire is a great place to work at. We have great colleagues, a great team, people who are passionate about what they do, and to complement it all, we have a beautiful office space that allows us to channel that sort of creativity that we have. For me, I am a social media and community manager at Crowdfire. Crowdfire has a big community of about 16 million to 17 million users. So one of my many responsibilities is to interact with those users, speak to them, offer them more than the product. And when it comes to community, it is not only about trying to sell your product, but it is about building a true connection with the other person in front of you. So I really enjoy that aspect of my job, where I get to speak to users, where I get to hear them out, where I get to help them with all aspects of social media. And yeah, that's one thing that I do. Apart from that, I also make social media posts for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And when I'm actually finding it very difficult to answer this, because when you have like a lot of projects that you manage, it's very difficult to put them into brackets saying this is what I do, because honestly it is a very niche product and we do have very niche sort of responsibilities. But yeah, mostly it is to do with handling, talking to crowdfire users and engaging with them, building relationships with them, and also helping out with crowdfire social media. I hope that answers your question. But if any of you are intrigued by what exactly that you do, then you can always go to my LinkedIn and check out my profile. I have everything listed there. Okay, so the next question is from Gehana, and she asked me, which moment or moments lead you to deciding on making your Instagram public? Was it overwhelming the first time you saw the numbers grow, as every number means another person who wants to look at the world from your perspective? That is such a wonderful question. Thank you so much for asking me this, because it really sort of makes me think. But to answer your question, I have been on Instagram and have been posting regularly since April 2013. It has been a very long journey for me, and my growth has been very gradual. It has my numbers have never seen like 100 followers come to my profile overnight. It's never happened, and it's a very gradual growth, and I actually love that. And a lot of people have also told me that yours seems like a very organic sort of growth. I'm not quite sure what it means, but I guess it means something good. And about making my Instagram life public, I guess it just happened very gradually, and a lot of it has to do with receiving very, very amazing feedback from the community that we have on Instagram. So I see, like, some other Instagrammers put out things like, some people are rude to them, or they comment like various random things on their posts. And guys, touch wood, like, honestly, knock on every wood on in this house, I have never had that. Barely, like, I can't even remember the number of times I've received a rude comment or a comment that is not meant for me. I have an amazing community, the most positive people, and I get such amazing DMs, emails, comments. I have nothing to be like, what do I say? Nothing to be like afraid of when it comes to sharing my life on Instagram, because the feedback has always been very sort of heartwarming, and that is one thing that really helped me put more of myself out there. I wasn't always very like public, if you about my life, and even now I'm not completely public about it. What you see is just very, 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 very little. But yeah, I guess I enjoy doing that. I enjoy making videos. I enjoy, sharing tidbits of my life. It's a way of sharing my life with you. It's also a way in which I get to document my life. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I hope that answers your question. I hope I didn't miss anything. Was it overwhelming the first? Okay, I answered that, as every number means another. Yes, so I guess I answered the question. So the next question is from Mostly Impolite, and she asked me, let me just fix the camera. That's better. So yeah, Mostly Impolite. She asked me, you had talked about spending money wisely to save enough for vacations a few days ago. I so loved your answer. Thank you so much. Could you please elaborate as to how you managed to resist spending during a sale or due to peer pressure? That is such a great question, and I wouldn't be the perfect candidate to answer this if you asked me the same question a few years ago, because for me, saving money is something that I have learned gradually. Ever since the time I started earning, my mom always told me save 30% of your income no matter how much or how little you earn. At least, begin with that. And I found it very difficult to sort of settle with, because I just started earning and I was away from home, and I had all these, things that I wanted to buy and spend on, and like saving wasn't really something that was on my list at that time. But then I realized if I have to travel, or if I have to save money, or if I want to feel empowered, if I have to feel financially independent and confident and have that appetite for risk, money is the only thing. Saving money, in fact, money in my account is the only thing that is going to enable all of these things. And most times we feel that by saving money we're depriving ourselves of things, but you should realize that that money is your own, and if you don't spend it on something, you have it with you. And by the day, if you keep saving money and that amount is going to grow up, oh my god, that feeling is amazing. And that feeling of thinking about, I want to really go somewhere but not having enough funds on one hand, while thinking I really want to go here, and having that kind of fun to enable that travel, that feeling is amazing. So first thing I would like to say is, when it comes to saving money, there's one thing you have to do is to just start. There is no good day, time, or week to do this. If you want to get to a certain goal, you have to just begin first. So I would say, if you get a certain amount of money every month, maybe take 10 or 20% of that amount every single month without fail, no matter what happens, and keep it aside. It's okay to let go of coffee on some days. It's okay to not eat out on some days. It's okay to not order drinks on some days. That dress you buy from, that dress you really want to buy for like 2 grand is going to bring you momentary happiness, but that vacation that you take to a beautiful tropical island or to a beautiful European city is going to bring you a lifetime of happiness. And that's something I kept telling myself, and I'm also telling you, because if you want to save money, it is hard work, but the benefits are huge, and that you will only realize after you start saving. So yeah, get started. My next tip is prioritizing things. For example, really sort of makes you wear those horse blinkers, so this is my priority. My priority is not momentary happiness that I get from ordering a drink at Starbucks, or just calling for food today. It's okay to eat at home on some days, because you're saving money for a bigger goal. And when that happens, that kind of happiness is not comparable to anything else. So yeah, my first tip is get started somehow. Second thing, prioritize and make sure that you have your priorities about traveling straight. And third thing is, obviously, start researching. If you have a certain place in mind that you have to go to, then figure out the kind of accommodation costs that you have to bear, the flight costs and all of that. Accordingly, you can start saving money. For example, if you were to go to Southeast Asia, it requires a lot less of funds than, for example, if you have to travel to somewhere in Europe. So I guess having those kind of things figured out also helps in understanding how much money you have to save. And it's also not about, I know the destination so I'll save money. It is also a process. So save money anyway. It is not only for travel, just for yourself. Save money. You could need it for anything. If you have money in your account, you won't have to bother about taking a 1 month sabbatical from your job or anything like that. You will have that risk for appetite, which is always great to have, trust me. Another tip that I have is also start thinking about a side hustle that you could do. If you're good at painting, if you're good at knitting, if you're good at DIY, if you're good at some sort of sculpting, and it could be literally anything, or even writing. There's so many kinds of jobs available on the market these days. You could always have your full-time job and also freelance on the side. For example, I started making money from photography 4 years after I started it. So I got my first DSLR in 2010, and I just started clicking pictures with it of everything and anything, and I started my niche started sort of inching towards food photography, and that's when I started making money from it. After 4 years of practicing, after 4 years of just shooting without any like source of income, without any sort of like encouragement, so to say. So yeah, these are just few of my tips on saving money. I'm very happy to talk about it in a bigger video and give like more wholesome tips, but if you were to ask me, these are just my few tips. The next question is asked by Mumbai Chupatlin. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right. The question is atheist or karma believer. They are both very different terms, but I'm definitely a karma believer. What goes around comes around, that's for sure. The next question is from Quest for Colors. There's another helicopter. Quest for Colors. How much time do you spend on social media in a day? Do you consciously moderate your time spent here? So I think I wrote about this in one of my posts where a couple of months back, where I realized I was just scrolling through social media for about like 3 to 4 hours in a day, with like recklessly, without even consciously thinking how much time I'm spending on it. And then, my eyes used to hurt, my thumb used to hurt, my hand used to hurt from holding the phone. And then I realized that something is really off. When something really goes wrong, your body has this amazing ability to tell you that you need to fix something. And I had that realization a couple of months back, after which I have gotten a lot stricter with how much time I spend. They are literally cutting trees outside my window. Anyway, so I have gotten a lot stricter with how I manage my time on social media. So usually I would say, I'm not quite sure, but since I'm a social media manager, I also need to sort of research some kind of things. So overall, I would say, including my job and including my personal thing, I spend about 2 hours on social media, which I know is a lot, but yeah, job hazards or occupational hazards, as you can call it, but it's gotten a lot better, that's for sure. Next question is from Pramodini J94, and she asked me, how did you overcome your camera shyness and become more comfortable with sharing a day with us? So this is almost like the previous question I answered. It is the feedback that I have received from people, from my beautiful Instagram community, that has enabled me or encouraged me to share more of my life on social media. Beautiful words, beautiful DMs, beautiful emails, and every time I put up a video with like me in it, people would say, I don't want to like exaggerate or boast or anything, but people have told me things like they find it really calming, and it makes them really happy to like watch me talk or share my day, and that has really encouraged me. But yeah, sometimes I feel I'm going to start oversharing, but I always try and keep that balance maintained. So yeah, that should answer your question. The next question is from Neha Menon, and she asked me, hi Alisha, I'd love to know what are your favorite places, websites to shop from. By the way, absolutely love your sense of style. Thank you so much, Neha. My favorite websites or shops to shop from are the usual ones. There is nothing new that I get to the mix. It is the usual Zara, H&M. Lately, I've also been liking Forever 21 for their active wear or for their summer wear. And I also discover, every time I go to Jabong, I discover these kind of new brands that I've never heard of, but they're doing really well. So I do not know the exact brands, but I do know that they are quite unique, and I really like the kind of stuff that they make. So instead of just putting filters for the brands that I know that I used to do before, so I would go and put like Mango, Veramoda only, or things like that. Now I've just gotten a little bit more comfortable, so I just look at everything that they have and I buy accordingly. So I would say, and also these other niche brands that are coming up, like Stock by Love or Agio. It's not niche, but yeah, Agio is one. Another, there is Fab Ali. I have just picked up one or two pieces from there, and I really enjoy them. You might not always find good things, but it's good to know about these websites so you can check every now and then if they have something great. So yeah, and what else? Zara, H&M. I think that's about it. Or if I find something, I'm just trying to imagine the things I have in my wardrobe. They're pretty much from these places. So yeah, that's my answer. The next question is from Cheesecake Chomper, such a nice name. Which car does Alisha drive? And if she doesn't drive yet, then which one does she plan on driving? That's such a nice question. Honestly, I do not drive a car. I do not have a car here with me in Mumbai, so of course I do not drive. And I do not plan on buying a car anytime soon, but I really like Volvo cars. I'm not sure how many of you have noticed it on the roads lately, but I have been noticing more of these cars on the roads lately, and I really like the design. I do not know much about cars, so I do not know the exact terminology, but I really like their shapes and everything, the Volvo cars. And I'm always confused if I like sedans more or SUVs more, but I think it all depends on the design and how the car makes you feel. But on most days, I see myself inclining towards SUVs for some reason. I don't know, the way, just the way they make me feel, I guess. So yeah. So the next question is from, oops, sorry, I missed the question. The next question is, kindly tell how did you make that March video, what software you use, and how to go about it. So I made the March video. For those of you who have not watched the March video, it's right there on my channel. I think it'll be the one right before this one, so check it out if you want to. And I used the Final Cut Pro to make it. And how I went about it, so initially the idea was to make a video which is a compilation of 1 second a day for all days of the month. So it would be a 30-second or 31-second video. But as I was shooting the video, the 1 second a day video, I realized that there are so many moments, so many more moments in the day that I want to share, I want to take and I want to document. So I started shooting more, and then I realized I do not want to stick to the concept of 1 second a day. I can make it 1 minute a day, or sometimes even 2 minutes a day, depending on how much or what I want to share. Like for example, one of my friends got married in March, and just 1 second of the entire wedding felt really like difficult for me to like pick out, because there were so many beautiful moments. So that's when I started shooting more. So I would say in that through the wedding, I captured about 2 minutes, and I ended up posting about 50 seconds of it. So yeah, I mean, I shoot, you just maybe start on any day you can. You don't have to start on the first of a month, but I would recommend maybe starting on the first of a month and just shoot 1 second every day, or more than 1 second every day. If you are an Android user, there's this app called 1 second a day app, which is the whole concept, which is where the whole concept comes from. So you can download that app, and they will make even like 3 seconds into 1 second, or 4 seconds into 1 second. You can start using that app. It's free. It's free for Android. For iOS, you can always buy that app, or you can just start shooting on your phone, and you can use any software to edit your videos. So I just shoot the entire month, and somewhere during the last week of the month I start editing the videos. And as I inch closer to the last of the month, I just get those 2 or 3 clips that are remaining from the extra days that are there, and I put them in and I make it into a video. I hope that answers your question. So the next question is from Jhelam Jain, and she asked me, how do you manage to keep your social media life updated from time to time while having fun with your close ones? I mean, if I were to go out, I always forget to take out my phone and capture the moment. Also, how supportive are your friends in all of this? It's such a great question, and I'm glad you asked this. So I have always, ever since I have known my friends, I mean, most of the people I'm friends with right now, I have been friends with for almost 7 to 8 years. So we sort of know each other, and we are beyond like these things, if you know what I mean. Ever since I have known them, they know me as someone who loves taking pictures. Back in the day, I had a BlackBerry which had the most average camera, but that did not stop me from taking pictures. I have taken pictures of anything and everything with it, and it is something I really enjoy, and my friends know that about me. So it's never like an issue, so to speak. But obviously, if they see me spending too much time on my phone, which barely happens. Maybe like once out of like 100 times they always point it out. But that's not because they have a problem with me clicking pictures, but they have a problem with me spending that much time on the phone, which I guess any friend would do, any like true friend would do. So yeah, that's one part. And that since I anyway enjoy taking pictures, it makes it very easy for me to pick out the ones that I want to share on social media. And I usually share like any picture that has been taken very nicely or means something to me, or something that I feel when I take that picture. I always put it out. And the last part of the question is, how supportive are your friends in all of this? My friends are very supportive, from helping me find props to helping me compose a certain picture, to like, you know, patiently waiting while I'm getting my picture. They are very supportive. And yeah, I mean, they are supportive of my passions and I'm supportive of their passions. It's very mutual, and I'm very blessed to have friends like that. We truly like get each other, and in that sense, so it's nice. So I hope that answers your question. And that was the last question. I really hope I answered your question. If not, there is always another Q&A video that's going to be on my channel sometime in the future. So I'm definitely going to be answering a question that time. Apart from that, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer all of them. I had such a fun time opening myself up and filming this video. I hope it helped you in some way or the other, getting to know me a little bit better or taking away any of the tips that I shared. And yeah, it was super fun. And if you enjoyed this video, obviously give it a big thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel, and also do leave me a good old comment. I love reading those comments that you guys leave on my profile. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any more ideas for any videos that you want me to make. I'm always open to them. And now I shall stop rambling and let you get on with your day. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.